I was thinking of it. Oh, my hair. Oh my god, you guys. So, I've been, for a while, I haven't really talked about it much, but, um, something that I've dealt with since I was a teenager is, it's a condition called PCOS, and if you know about it, it's a hormonal condition associated with like insulin resistance and other factors that play into it. They say genetics kind of play roles sometimes too. Um, and it's just a condition I've never really been completely comfortable speaking about it, just because of a lot of the symptoms of it are not things that you want to really discuss unless you're like really close with the person and they're really understanding and this and that. So, um, I've been watching a few YouTube videos, just seeing how other women deal with it, and it's one of those things also that it affects women in different ways. Like some women will have certain symptoms and some women won't. And for me, when I was a teenager, I wasn't getting the periods and stuff. So my mom um, took me to a doctor, I think when I was like 16, and then they were like, no, I think my pediatrician before that said something's kind of off, because I was eating like the same diet as, you know, my brothers, and they were all kind of athletic and skinny, and they were just like, something's a little different here. But she couldn't put her finger on it. She was a pediatrician, and she really just was like, it could just be weight gain for, childhood. I don't know. I forgot what she exactly told my mom, but they didn't really know. And so then, when I was around 16, my mom took me to, because this is all through Kaiser. My mom took me to a doctor. They took me to refer me to a endocrinologist, and that's the one that was like, it's this condition and um, the hormones and all that. And they put me on the pill, and so that gives you kind of like a pseudo period, so that you kind of feel somewhat normal. But also, it's because if you're not having regularly, it can build up and cause other problems down there. Because with that condition, usually you have certain hormones working right, but then other ones aren't working right. So you're not getting the periods, so it's all just building up in there, and it can cause cancer and all that. So they want you to have one every so many months. But so fast forward, um, I've never really had regular periods at all. Like even when I haven't been on the pill, I haven't been on the pill in decades. So like it's just been um I just haven't had them, and I just was used to living that way, basically not having to deal with the cramping and all that, which I was happy about, because when I did have them, like after it was off the pill, when my body would sometimes do it, like I just hated dealing with it. All of it. Women know what I'm talking about. So I was glad I didn't have to deal with it. But then, over the years, I was seeing a endocrinologist. Um, what else? Because most people know, PCOS is like a symptom treated condition. So there isn't a cure for it. Um, what they really do, they kind of push the whole dietary thing, like low carb thing going, because insulin is a hallmark of the whole thing. Your body's not using the insulin properly and stuff, and that can cause like, see, like the darken neck, darken areas under your arms, in between your legs. It's all insulin resistance. So for that, they gave me metformin. They were like, "You're not diabetic. You're in the pre-diabetic range, but you're not diabetic." And so I didn't have to do the needle, check my blood, or anything like that, sugars or nothing. They were just like, "We want to stave off that, so we're gonna give you metformin." So I was on metformin for like Oh my god, probably maybe okay. Because up until when I had my surgery for my knee, I wasn't seeing doctors or anything because I didn't have insurance at the time. So I had my knee injury and all that back in 2011, the end of 2011, like maybe the summer, and so they um they were like, okay, first we're gonna get your blood pressure down, this and that. You know how when you have been to the doctor, you're not checking anything. You're just living, and you could have all kinds of stuff, and you're just living. So you don't even know what you have. You could have because high blood pressure is one of those things too that isn't really noticeable until it's in its extreme stages. So, um, I started seeing a doctor after that, after the surgery, and she gave me spironolactone, which if you have PCOS and you've probably heard of it, it's a what it does is okay. One of the symptoms of, I'll just say, extreme PCOS is you get the excess hair growth. They call it hirsute. What is it called? Hirsutism or her? I don't know how to say it. But if you ever see one, and don't think that just if you see a woman with a mustache or if you see a woman with some strays that she has PCOS, because she probably, that doesn't mean she has PCOS or has any issues like that. She could just have genetic, hairy family or whatever. It doesn't always mean that. But basically, like for me, my mom never has to shave her legs, never has any hairs or anything, just like the basic underarm and all that. But me, it's like wolf woman. Like, but, and that's because of the situation and what I have. But that's really the only part of it that I'm like, about. I don't know. That's the only part of it that I'm not, that I've always had a problem with, is the hair. Like, I could do without the periods. I could do without, um, what else? That's really the main thing. Is you're either complaining to them about the periods, or you're complaining about you can't get pregnant, or you're complaining about the hair, and that's basically it. And so they give you drugs to kind of, I forgot, but someone I was dealing with, he was telling me what it does, what the pill does that I was taking, which is spironolactone, which is an androgen blocker, and that helps kind of slow down some of the hair. It doesn't completely take it away, but it helps, slow it down. And also, it helped that my mom was telling me to get into groups about, self help, not self help. What is it called? Those groups on like Facebook and stuff where other women have it. So we're all kind of, um, what is it called? We're all kind of able to feel like we're not alone with this condition. And so the reason I decided to talk about this today is because something strange happened. So, like I said, I've been on spironolactone and I was on metformin. I stopped taking the metformin last year because all of a sudden they started telling me that my doctor told me that he was trying to say I had stage 3 kidney failure, which was weird because I've never had any inclination of it, or I mean, I was reading up on it and there isn't really symptoms at that stage yet. It's really when you get to the 5th stage and all that. But that's, if I'm on 3rd stage supposedly, then that's not far away. So I was like, what? And then they base that on your urine, what's in your urine, doing your urine test and all that. And I was just like, I don't know what the status is now, but the last time, um, he said, well, he was gonna refer me to a kidney specialist, and the last time he got my results, he said that it was like back to normal. So I was just like, I don't know what the current status is. I'm like in the process of going to a doctor soon because I need to get like a physical done because I haven't even dealt with any of that since like last year. So like I'm gonna see about that. But I was just like kidneys because like I've always been good with water and everything. So I don't know. The only thing I could think of that maybe was contributing to it is all the bad stuff they were saying about metformin, like not to take it and all that. So I stopped taking metformin, and I was only taking it. They said to make it so that I didn't get diabetes, and also that my insulin resistance was under control or controlled. So I stopped taking that. Also, what happened was with COVID, you can't really go to doctors and stuff right now. So I wasn't able to refill my um spironolactone, which is like the one that was most important to me due to just the, like I said, call it vanity or whatever, but like the hair thing. So I wasn't able. I didn't refill that. I did do it like a few months ago when I went to urgent care for something else, but I never got that refilled. So I haven't been on and I remember like the endocrinologist told me before that it takes about a month for the effects of the spironolactone to kind of leave your body if you're not keeping it at its what's the word? Not thermal. If you're not keeping it at its the level it needs to be at, in your body, then your regular body starts taking over again after, so meaning that the pre-spironolactone, pre-metformin issues I was having are gonna like come back. And I'm just like, oh, because I'm seeing like on my shoulders, the hair, I'm seeing on my chest like a little bit of the hair, but not, you know, extreme yet. And they say also because this spironolactone does help um, prevent new ones from coming in. It won't take away the ones that are there, but it helps new ones from coming in. So who knows if it just didn't. But I'm seeing certain ones coming back, and I'm just really self conscious and like more so mostly with my face. And I know everyone has like tips on that, waxing, like my even okay. And this is the etiquette for guys too. If you're dealing with a woman who has PCOS and she has the hair issue, you don't need to be giving her tips on how to you know handle her. I know men are experts on that because they deal with shaving and everything, but he was straight up like, I'm gonna teach you how to wax it. And I'm like, oh, like it wasn't even. But then it was funny because I was talking to my friend and her husband, who she said her husband never really says anything about it, and she has the issue too. And I have other friends who say that their husbands and boyfriends and stuff don't say anything about it, and they don't say anything because obviously if somebody like cares about you, they're not gonna be like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. But I was just like, dude, I don't even know you that well, and you're already giving me tips on what is the word? Anesthetic tips. I don't know, but that's the only thing, you guys, is the hair. And like I don't like the face hair stuff. And so for years I would tell certain friends about it, and I was like, that's the one thing that kept me from ever wanting to date and go around or do anything, because I was so self-conscious about that. Because once someone's around you a lot, they're gonna like see the certain things. They're gonna be like, oh my god, you have this or that, depending on the type of guy it is. um and so it was weird. In the group, in the support groups I'm in for it, like they'll say, I don't even want my husband to touch my face. I don't even want my, you know, because it's self-conscious, even if you know that he loves you and stuff, you're just like, don't, you know. And it's a hard thing to explain to women who don't deal with it, but it's like, you know, I remember with mine, like I was, we were just kind of there, laying there, and he did it, and I was just like so self conscious. I was like, don't, But at that time, you know, you can tell them just, I have that issue I gotta deal with. Let me deal with it. Let me get whatever therapy I need for it. But I don't feel comfortable with, you know, you touching my face or grazing my face or whatever because of that. Because I have that issue and it's not. And so it's a real complex thing. And so I, the ironic thing is, like I said, I never for years have had, um, dealt with periods and stuff because I don't know if it's just because I have the extreme case or what, but now I'm wondering if it was just all the meds I was on because, in addition to spironolactone and metformin, I was on like Lipitor and different allergy meds, but those aren't really included in this. But um, it's ironic that after I started not taking them, all of a sudden, since about January, or I don't know if it was December, January, or when it started, I've been having a regular cycle every month. And I've never, like I said, I did not have them for pretty much all my life. I not had periods just because of this condition. And I even when I wasn't on meds, but now that I'm on meds, and like these past few years, I was on the meds. I never had them, and I thought with the spironolactone, I would definitely get them because supposedly that, um, I don't know if it blocks it or if it just. My ex were to say that it kind of. He said that it doesn't block it, but it changes how your body. Um, I don't know. I feel like it blocks it because it says it blocks it on Google. Like he explained it a certain way that did make sense, but I don't even remember. Um, but I do notice that since I've been off of them and the metformin, I've been having regular periods, and um, now I don't know if the spironolactone is related to that because I was on spironolactone, a few months ago still, and I was getting them. So I think it might have been the metformin. I don't know. But for some reason, now that I'm just basically drugless, I like as far as prescription drugs, I'm not. Um, I'm getting periods again. I don't know what it is, and you could say it's because like where I was working, that it's kind of like you're sweating and all that. But I wasn't really working that much of a sweat at that job. Like I was walking around, but I wasn't doing one of the real hard labor jobs. So I don't even think it's that. I was trying to just think what it was. So when I gotta get make an appointment to see how everything's looking. Just my sugars, my cholesterol, my um I'm praying I don't have diabetes. I don't want to deal with that at all. But I'm debating if I want to go back on the spironolactone. I just because of vanity and as other PCOS women can attest. I do want to be back on it just because it does block or at least slow down the hair growth. You know, something that I'm very self conscious about, and I did have a certain confidence when I was on those. So, any women that are dealing with that, please reach out to me because I want to know what you're on. I know a lot of women aren't on the spironolactone, um, because and this is gonna be real extra candid, but I was on, like I said, about a year or two. No, not a year ago. It was before that. Maybe 2 years ago. I was with someone, and I wanted to, the whole clock ticking thing was happening. So I was like, I want to try to get pregnant. And at that time, like I said, I wasn't having periods or anything. So I probably wasn't ovulating. I may be ovulating now just because I have them every month. My friend told me to try those ovulation test things that say if you're ovulating or not. But since right now I'm not like in a relationship or anything, I don't feel like I need to because I'm not even like doing anything that would cause that. But so like, but at the time I did want to. So I went off all the meds I was taking because with especially with spironolactone, you can't be on that if you're trying to get pregnant because it can do things to a developing male fetus because like I said it's an androgen blocker, so the male fetus could be affected and be like feminized or something. I forgot, I was reading all about it back then. So I'm hoping I am like things maybe did normal themselves out just from being on those drugs all those years, but I don't know. But yeah, like I said, if I do get back on it, I'm probably not going to take the high dose I was taking of spironolactone because I don't know if it made much of a difference whether you're taking the lowest dose or the highest dose. Because when I was taking the lowest dose, I was getting results. But so yeah, it's just something that I haven't discussed a lot, just because it's not every woman can relate to it, and there's a lot of us out here that do, and it's like there's women who in the groups I'm in, that are with people that are like, most of them seem like they have supportive husbands and stuff, and boyfriends, but some of them have had, kind of weird instances when they tell, because there's always the question, when do you tell a guy that you have that? And it depends on the guy, because if the guy is like, I want to have kids and all that, you got to kind of be upfront that it could happen, it may not happen, who knows? Um, but and then some men just get kind of grossed up from the other side effects, because the women will tell these guys everything about it, which my stance on that is it kind of just like with the last time, it just kind of came up. And I don't know why. I think like once you know how the guy is and you're comfortable with him and stuff, you kind of know, okay, I can broach this subject with him or whatever. Because I do believe in just communicating things, being upfront about things, especially things like that, because it is a part of your life. Um, but it's a sticky topic. A lot of women are like, when do you bring that up? And it's like, I just feel like if they like you already, they're not gonna run off because of that. If they don't, if they're kind of in the middle or in the fence, they may be like, I'd rather deal with someone who don't have to deal with all that. I don't know. But like, so it's like, for me, I don't know. I think something changed in me over the past few years, because I've met people, I talk to people, and I'll just tell them straight up. I'll just be like, lies and stuff. They'll be like, how you're on the phone, they're like, well, this was a guy friend, the one I was talking to before, but he was like, what makes you insecure or something like that. We were just talking about that topic. And I was like, the only thing that makes me insecure, because he was saying how he had been with women that they were bigger women, and they always, how big women have that self-conscious about their stomach or their body, the fat and everything. And he's like, and they cover their, their stomachs when they're in bed or whatever. And I was like, nah, I was like that the first time. But after that, I didn't care. I was like, because one of my friends, I don't want to shout her out because she knows she knows who she is, maybe, I don't know. But she told me, Jocelyn, if they see you, they're already going to know. It's not going to be some anorexic girl under those clothes. And after that, I knew. I didn't care anymore. I was like, it is what it is. You getting what you getting. You know what it is when you approach, when you see, when you like, or whatever. So now I don't care. But he asked me, what's the one thing that you're insecure? And I was like, and I told him about it. And I think the reason I told him about it was because he wasn't, like, I wasn't into him, like, in that way. I was more just like, talking, like, joking around. So I didn't care. I was like, yeah, that's the only thing is the hair stuff, with that PCOS thing. Because he, of course, didn't know what it was. And he was like, what is that? And I was like, he's all, shoot, that's a turn. And I was like, so that's why I said, if you're a man out there, if a man is even watching my videos, then if you meet a woman like me that has the condition, we come in different circumstances, different sizes, everything, different races. It goes across like the lines. Just be open-minded about it. It doesn't mean that she's just a wolf woman or whatever. I know some men are scared of it because they think like, oh, you know, they get scared off about that, or they think you were born a man or whatever like that. But no, it's a condition that has the hallmarks of it are like androgen excess, ovulatory problems, menstrual problems, skin darkening problems. It just depends on like the severity of it. But anyway, you guys, I need to get going because I have a few errands to run. I'm trying to finish up this water. I've been doing really good with my water intake. I'm trying to do a half gallon a day. So yeah. But yeah, you guys. So I also brought all this up in this video because I was reading something on Facebook and the person was like, when do you tell a guy about this or that? And I was just like, I feel like, in any relationship, whether it's friends or anybody, partner, friend, like you have to be able to like talk to that person. So if you can't, or if you're nervous or you're scared to talk to them, and if it's early on, I understand it, but all you could do is say it. And if they're just like not interested in you, then you weeded one out. Like, not all men are gonna be that way, I feel like you just have to be. We're too old now. We're too grown now for like hiding parts of ourselves from people, And everybody has something that they deal with, and they want to just be accepted too. But society can be very judgmental about certain things and less judgmental about other things. Just things. But so yeah, my rule of thumb is just always be honest, be straight up, communicate things. Just say I deal with this condition, but and it did. Like, I'm being real. It did affect me for most of my adult years so far. Just dealing with it, living with it, having to deal with certain symptoms of it. Like most women, with it being told, oh, you'll never be able to, you never know if you're gonna be able to have kids or not. The first thing they tell a lot of women to have it, most likely is gonna be difficult. And that's if you have a good doctor. They'll tell you it'll be difficult, maybe. And then some women don't ever have problems with it. But look at me, like, I'm just now getting the regular, I might just get an ovulation test just for the hell of it, to see if I am ovulating. Just a proof to myself that my body's doing it. But yeah, you just never know about things, and doctors will tell you things. It doesn't always mean they're like 100%, because a lot of doctors, even up till recent years, some of these doctors, male doctors especially, didn't even know what it was. They were just like, oh, what was that again? Or what is that? And I'm just like, but then I remembered, yeah, it was known about, but it wasn't mainstream. Now it's more mainstream, so more doctors know, even if there's something special. But so yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going. Just wanted to kind of vent and what's the other word? Vent and PSA. And then there's another word, but I don't remember what it was. But my main message for the video is just be who you are. Tell if someone wants to know you, wants to get to know you, be in your life, then feel it by ear, kind of know how they are and stuff, and then tell them what it is from early on so they can make the decision if they want to proceed. Oh my god, is that a bee? Um, so yeah, you know, but don't think that everyone's just gonna judge you or not accept you. There are gonna be people who don't, and that's their prerogative because we all have things we don't feel we can accept about other people or whatever. But you know, some people care more beyond just the wrist. They don't just care about the exterior stuff. Totally, you know, they need some of that, but they're like, no, I like the whole shell of the person. You know, just be who you are. All right, you guys. So this video went way beyond what I wanted it to. I was just gonna vent, not even vent really, just kind of let people know, you know. But anyway, guys, I will talk to you guys later. I need to dye this stuff. Oh, you guys look, and this ain't got nothing to do with it. This is just I'm old. All right, you guys. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.